Hello and welcome to another episode of Story Roulette. I am Mr. Clunky, and this is the show where we tell random stories from random words and then hope for the best, and then hopefully everybody enjoys it. Yes, alright. This week's episode is brought to us by Hane, so thank you Hane for leaving your words list. Remember, check the description for details, and you could be responsible for next week's episode. Okay, all of that said, let's get to the storytelling, shall we? Enter the Hat of Stories. Okay, so I've already given it a good shake it up. So we've got the first one, we got the second one, and the third one. Alrighty, let's see what we got. So the first word we have is pianoforte. Okay, or just a piano, I suppose. What big? Well, you choose your preference, but you're gonna go with pianoforte. Okay, Franz Liszt. Okay, and third word is scatter. Alrighty, so we've got pianoforte. I don't think I showed you. Alright, so pianoforte, scatter, and Franz Liszt. Alright, so of course, this story will have to take place in the 1800s, when Franz Liszt was alive. So, okay, back in the 1800s, Franz Liszt, composer extraordinaire, wrote, of course, several piano concertos. Now, it just so happened that Franz Liszt, there's a part to Franz's life that history doesn't know about, because frankly, it doesn't happen in history, at least not in our history. It happens in the future, but it's part of our history. It's very complicated, but suffice to say, there was more to Franz Liszt than met the eye, or the history books in this case. Yes, okay, so Franz Liszt, he invented a pianoforte that was a lot more than just a pianoforte. It was in fact a time machine that, well, I guess that about says it all. It was a time machine. But you see, it worked with a specific note sequence. See, the sequence you entered onto the keyboard would be the sort of the code that set the date, that would send you into to your specified time. So you see, most people think Franz Liszt's compositions were just mere songs, but they were way more than that. I mean, yes, as artistic expression, they definitely did their thing, but there was a lot more to it. There was a mathematic formula to the notes that resulted in a time code that, when played on his specific pianoforte, would send you backwards or forwards in time. Now, in the occasion of which we shall speak, he was playing one of his concertos, or at least he was playing one of his concertos on his pianoforte, and it sent him into the future. Now, of course, this would be the pre- or the post-apocalyptic future of the perambulator, where the world had ran out of potatoes and had a surplus of strawberries. So now we have here Franz Liszt in a world without potatoes. Okay, so interesting enough. Alright, so now we have this people who basically do not know much of anything. Now, this was before the invention of the perambulator. It was the time frame of the perambulator, but it just sort of preceded the existence of the perambulator. If you remember episode 1, I believe it was. Or was it the pilot episode? Yes. Anyway, so links in the description to that episode, by the way. But anyway, case if you want a refresher. if you need one. But yes, so it was pre the perambulator, just let's say a decade before its invention. And here you have this man appearing out of nowhere, or seemingly out of nowhere, in a world full of people who are, well, suffice to say, very superstitious. Okay. And, well, it caused the great scatter of the post-apocalypse 1940s. Yes. And which was actually what his arrival was actually directly responsible, or should I say indirectly responsible, for the revival of many things, because a lot had been lost, suffice to say, in the apocalypse. The apocalypse! The apocalypse is upon us! Okay, yes, anyway. So, he arrived, and you see, most people think he died, was it 1886? Yeah, so it was in 1886 when this happened. When Franz played his concerto on his pianoforte that set him forward in time to the post-apocalyptic 1940s, which then sparked the revolution. Because, as I've already said, Franz Liszt was a genius, so he had invented time travel, for crying out loud. So he then imbued the human race with knowledge once more, or at least the knowledge he had, which then allowed Mr. Perambulate to invent the perambulator. And as a result, yes, that things worked out. People once again had potato slices to eat. And yeah, Franz then lived out the rest of his life in this post-apocalyptic world. And to the rest of us, we know he died. We think he died. But actually he went to the future on his time-traveling pianoforte. But his arrival caused the great scatter of the 1940s, post-apocalyptic 1940s. Yes. Yeah, I understand the order of things have been a little mixed up, sorry. Sometimes my brain kind of goes... But, in summary, Franz Liszt, inventor of time travel, played his concerto that sent him to the post-apocalyptic 1940s, where he caused the great scatter. But after the scatter, he managed to calm the people down, imbue them with a significant amount of knowledge, and subsequently, the Mr. Perambulate invented the perambulator. There we go. I think that's a good way to put things. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave your words list in the comments down below or on Facebook. Link in the description. I hope you all have a good week. I have been Mr. Clunky. You have been awesome. And I will see you all next week. Goodbye.